this knowledge being spread. It's like warm butter across the bread. Smooth, I know you like that. Flow with the grain and don't fight that. You want righteous love, you found the right match. With Marty McFly, they on the right track. Yeah, gotta dig the dirt to plant the seed. Spread roots till you sprout like a tree. Doni Jones, she the one you wanna see. Doni Jones live, this is where you wanna be. It's Doni Jones live, Doni Jones live. It's Doni Jones live, Doni Jones live. It's Doni Jones live, Doni
Hey, welcome to this week's episode of Doni Jones Live. You got me on the mic, Doni Jones, and I'm usually hanging out with that guy, Marty McFly. But today we have an amazing special guest for you today. You know, we're always trying to bring you people that are out there doing their thing, making a difference, contributing to the community in their own special way. And today on our show, that's exactly what we've got here. We've got an amazing woman that does ministry. She is a author. She is a entertainer. She is a songstress, and I'm talking about none other than the Princess of Praise, Calandra Gantt.
What's
Thank
going
you so
on,
much.
Doni?
Hey.
Marty McFly in the house.
Yeah.
I am so glad to be interviewing with you again.
Yes,
it's
that's
been a
right.
minute. It's been a minute. Some great things. I'm excited. We're going to have a good time today.
We are going to have a good time today. And, you know, a lot has happened.
Yes.
Like you said, since we last were together. First of all, there's been a pandemic.
Yeah, of course.
And the reason why I really wanted Calandra on the show is because, you know, a lot of you people have used this as an excuse to not do certain things, and other people have used this pandemic as a stepping stone to the next level.
Right.
And that's exactly what you've done.
Yeah.
And so for our audience members that don't know you,
Okay.
tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, let me see. Like you said, we have been through a pandemic, but before the pandemic, I worked in the corporate world for about 15 years for a chemical company, and then took another job, and they laid me off after that job. But I shouldn't have gone back into the corporate world because like I said, I spoke over my own life that I was only going to work 15 years and then I was going to do ministry full time.
Yes, yes.
But you know, we get out here, we get a little scared, you know, because we're stepping out on faith, something new, and went and got another job because everybody around me was saying, you need to be working, you need to be, you need some money, you got bills to pay.
Right.
I said, okay, so we took it. I was laid off when they started downsizing. I said, you know what? We can't go back into it. Every time I try to get into another job,
God's got another plan.
It doesn't even work.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, we just going to walk by faith.
That's right.
We're just going to be a
that's the
faith
thing
walker.
Faith is not faith without faith. Meaning, you can't have faith and then go, okay, is it all figured out?
Yeah.
Do I have a plan yet? I mean, we do want to have a plan, but a lot of times we want to see the end of the staircase or the top of the staircase.
Yep.
And sometimes we just need to take that first step.
One step.
And that's exactly what you did.
Yeah.
Which is what excited me about what you're doing. You not only stepped out on faith with your ministry, you also started a business or pushed your business further.
Right. So I met my business partner Daphne Hilton about 3 years ago, and we know that it was a God connection because we were actually singing on a cruise, on a gospel cruise they were having. And
Steve Harvey?
No, it wasn't Steve. It wasn't Steve this time. I know, right? It wasn't Steve this time. But hey, Steve, listen to me. Come on, listen to me.
You don't know what you're missing, Steve.
I'm just telling you. But we went because she's a gospel artist as well.
Yeah.
So we were on this cruise. We had heard of each other. We had actually done a couple of shows in the past, but never knew each other. And so we connected, and from the point of that cruise, we had some of the same vision when it came to music, opening a music school and doing these different things. And we had a love to help people. Yeah. And what we noticed in the industry, in the kingdom, people didn't operate in integrity a lot. Ooh. Oh, see, I'm not. I call a spade a spade.
She calls a spade a spade.
Listen, and I don't mean anything, but the reality is that more people about making the money, and don't get me wrong, making the money is good because
it is good. Yeah.
God is nothing wrong with money. It's a business, but you also have to operate in a good name.
That's right.
Operate in integrity and treat people right. And we found that in the industry, a lot of people want to cut corners. Yeah. They want to offer subpar services.
Come on now.
But won't high pay money. And so our goal was, okay, you know what? Let's make this different. Let's collaborate. Yeah. We're greater in numbers. Yeah. And so she and I, knowing she had been, I'm not going to tell her story, but she had been praying to God about some things. And through our connection, God answered her prayer. Yeah. And that's what he does. And we created Blue Mile Music Consultants.
Yes.
We're 3 years in now.
Now repeat that one more time.
Blue Mile Music Consultants LLC, because we legit look us up. Everybody got a business,
We're
but
going to get into that in the next segment about being legit.
I'm just telling you.
I mean, just keep it real.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, and we knew it was going to be a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
But we have a love to really help people and to do things for people. And so the business birth, we're really making strides. And even in the pandemic, I wrote a book.
Yes.
Put the book
and what's
out.
The name of your book?
It's entitled The Inspirational Series.
Right
Yep, Volume 1.
Get this book.
We're trying to be #1 on Amazon bestseller.
That's right, Amazon bestseller.
I just need 15 people to consecutively go and order
Come
this
on
book.
Now. Come on, y'all.
And we gonna make it where we're supposed to be.
And the name of it, once again, I want y'all to go do this for real.
The Inspirational Series, a 30-day motivational book.
I'm gonna put this right here.
Yes, and it's for everybody. I don't care what your faith is, what you believe in, because it's just a motivational. Every day you get a nugget. It tells you some things. You know, on one day it just tells get out of our own way.
Ooh, but that's a word though.
Yeah, get out of your own way.
Get out of your own way.
It ain't God. It ain't the devil.
Come on.
It's you.
It really is.
It really is at the end of the day.
Think about how many people we pray, we ask for a word, we ask for a vision, we ask for confirmation, and then we get it, and it's exactly what we were envisioning.
Yep.
It seems like it's coming to pass, but then we hit a few stumbling blocks, and then we start going, well, you know, I don't think that's exactly what God said.
We so easy to give up.
And I'm like, no.
And I know it's hard. I mean, you're stepping into something new, but those that know me, they like, I tell you, I am a faith walker.
Yeah.
And then I had to get my relationship right with money.
Yeah.
People don't think about that. Your relationship with money really affects how you see it coming in and going out.
Yes, absolutely.
And how you invest and how you... I've met a lot of people, they don't have a good relationship with money. That's why they borrow and can't pay back.
Come on now.
Or that's why they don't know how to invest their money and they go into debt a lot.
I used to do that.
Yeah. So when I connected with the people around... Listen, I was in I'm gonna tell you about my college days. But listen, when my relationship changed and I stopped nickel and diming, and we serve a good God, an abundance God, a rich God.
Yes.
So when my mentality changed, money didn't scare me.
Right.
And money didn't make me.
That's right.
I made money.
That's right.
And I was no longer a slave to it. So since I wasn't a slave to it, it had no power over me.
But you just said something that's so powerful. You said money didn't make you. You made money. And that's a point that I don't think a lot of people get. Everything you need is right here inside.
He said it's in your hands.
He said it.
He said it's in your hands.
He said make the vision plain.
Yep.
He said it's in your...
You got to work,
You know? But faith without works is dead. So that's the whole plan right there.
Yeah.
So you have this thing that you want to do.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is make a vision.
Make
put
a vision.
Put it on paper.
Yep.
Tell the right people, not everybody.
You can't tell everybody your business.
You can't tell everybody. Tell the right people about it. Start putting it out there, and then do the work to make it happen.
And when I changed my mindset with money, and then I started doing affirmations every morning.
Yeah.
Affirmations, and I took index cards and I wrote down everything I wanted to accomplish in my life, and every day I would say it, and I decreed that everything that came out of my mouth would manifest in my life. And once I did that, I found that each card was being taken away because things were manifesting.
That's right. Yeah.
So you got to start speaking those things into existence.
Yeah, speak those things that are not as though they are.
Yes, ma'am.
But that's what we have to do. Now, before we take a quick break, I want you to be specific about what your business does.
Okay.
You kind of went over, but I want people to support you guys.
Yeah.
Once again, we're talking to Calandra Gantt.
Yes.
The Princess of Praise herself. You can check her out online. She'll tell you how to do that. But I want to know specifically what your company does so people can support you.
Well, we are a company where two people came together with over 30 years in the music business, and we came together to offer an avenue for artists, anybody, our peers in the industry. I don't want to just say artists because you may want to know how to sing, but we do vocal technician, vocal techniques, event management. If you got an event, we can help you plan it from beginning to end. We have a strategy that we use that has worked because we did it for my album release concert. So it's a proven strategy that we use, and we work in the film and we write for people. If you want a song written, great songwriter on our team. Both of us are, and We have a website, bluemilemusic.com. And we give free 30-minute consultations.
Oh, great.
So we do those consultations so we can sit down and we strategically write a plan that is catered to you.
Yes.
About what you want to do, and we take you through what we call a boot camp.
I love it.
To get you where you need to be, and we don't leave you there. We follow you through the whole process. So if you just want to record a song for the first time, you may be doing it for fun. We can walk you through our resources, our network of resources that we've gathered over the years.
So basically, you're almost like a producer too.
Yeah.
In some ways, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's Blue Mile, because we don't be pronouncing words in our community, but it's Blue Mile with the
M-I-L-E. Yes. bluemilemusic.com.
Yeah. So I want you guys to go ahead and support her.
Yes.
Where can people find you on social media? I know you got your website.
I have my Facebook. You look up Calandra Gantt. I am on Instagram, Calandra_POP3. Twitter. I even got a TikTok page. I don't use it. And we on Snapchat too, I think, honey. I just be on there because they tell me I got to be on there. Instagram and all that good stuff. Even on LinkedIn. If you still use LinkedIn, I ain't used it in a minute. But the website will connect you to every spot that I'm on.
That's right.
Calandra Gantt, that was 2 T's, not 1.
That's right.
.com.
Because I made that mistake, so I'm going to spell it out for you all.
She did.
It's CalandraGantt.com.
You got it.
You need to find this woman, look her up, because she's making moves, man. And you've got, you not only have your book out, you've got a CD out too.
Yeah, but
not a CD. Do we have? Yeah, it is a CD.
Yeah, it is a CD.
Okay.
It's a full project. Got 12 songs. The song out now is called "Bless His Name."
Yeah.
It is rising. It's a great song. I've gotten great reviews so far, but there's a story behind this project that will inspire a lot of people.
Okay.
So we hope to share that with you.
I think we are going to share that with you, but you know what we're going to do first? We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with Calandra Gantt with 2 T's. You're listening to Doni Jones Live. I am Doni the Tree Lady here with Calandra Gantt, and we will be right back.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.
Hey guys, I'm Doni the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. We are an Atlanta-based tree service serving all of Metro Atlanta. And you know what? We proudly serve the underserved. And not only that, when we cut down your trees, we don't charge extra for cleaning up. So give us a call at 770-413-8733. That's 770-413-TREE. Check out Don's Tree Service online or at www.donstree.com.
Don's Tree Service.
Hey, this is Marty McFly. Now, if you listen to the show, there's not a secret I'm a minister. I'm actually a pastor of a church, a wonderful church in East Point, Georgia, called St. Mark Lutheran Church. And what I want to do is invite you to one of our services, or any of our services. See, our service is online, on YouTube, and it's free. You ain't got to pay for it. You ain't even got to do offering. But I invite you to share with me in worship, and just check it out. If you like it, subscribe. And you can actually send me a message or a question. But it's St. Mark Lutheran Church with Minister Marty Ringer. You can actually log on right now and have church with me. That's St. Mark Lutheran Church with Minister Marty Ringer.
Hi, I'm Doni the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service and author of my book, From Failure to Fabulous. From Failure to Fabulous is my story about taking my life from being an abject failure to building a fabulous life that I absolutely love. And I'm hoping that you'll take the time to check out my book, From Failure to Fabulous.
Get your copy of this inspiring book by Doni Jones, entitled From Failure to Fabulous. Available now on Amazon and donijoneslive.com.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.
Welcome back to Doni Jones Live. I am Doni the Tree Lady, and I'm usually with that guy, Marty McFly. And then there's times when we have a guest, like today with Miss Calandra Gantt. The beautiful, wonderful Calandra Gantt. See, I said her name wrong, but I got it right this time. The Princess of Praise.
Listen, I'm so used to it. I just roll with it. Long, she called me something good. Long she ain't called me nothing bad, we good.
I know.
I'm working with it.
But I do have to take a minute to give a shout out to Grant Park Coffee House, because they are awesome. Once again, that's Grant Park Coffee House, right across from the zoo here in Atlanta, right on, what's the name?
Cherokee.
Cherokee, right on Cherokee, you guys. come check out Grant Park Coffee House. They are great people, great coffee. They even have breakfast foods and lunch and all kinds of stuff. And what you had? You had a scone? I
had a chocolate chip scone. It was good. I couldn't eat it all because, I ain't want all that chocolate milk where I do this thing.
Exactly.
Right, and I had a peach smoothie, and I got this banana pecan cake I'm going to get into later.
Yes.
Let me tell you something.
And they had even something gluten-free.
They did.
Because, I'm trying to get this, trying to do all of this right here. So they got something for everybody. But yeah, we gotta give a shout out to Grant Park Coffee. Also, if you guys want to get in touch with me, you can hook up with me as The Tree Lady on Instagram at The Tree Lady. You can also look up my website, www.donijoneslive. That's www.donijoneslive. And on all social media platforms, you can look up Doni Jones. If you just put my name up, you'll find me. You'll also see my book, From Failure to Fabulous. But you know what? Today we are talking about Miss Calandra Gantt's book, which is a very much inspirational book, and in fact, it's in the name, the Inspirational Series. Tell us a little bit more about what motivated you to do that.
Interesting. On my social media every day, I would do an inspirational thought of the day. And I would get so much feedback from it. And one person was like, girl, I need this on my calendar. Girl, I need this. I said, well, God, I ain't doing that. I'm sitting here in a pandemic. I wanted to always do a book. And, sometimes we just get so lazy and not step out on doing what we do. I said, well, God, it's going to take the money. It's going to take this. Wrote it. And I wrote these in my journal daily anyway. So I had it. So I just had to complete it. I started typing. A publisher came, a good friend of mine who's a spiritual publisher, Christian books, and like that, it was done.
Love it.
We had a book signing out in South Lake area, and from that, it's just been history. But it's something I had wanted to do, and I tell you, the pandemic, it either blessed you, you either became a innovator, or you just became a lazy person.
That's right.
Most people,
like I said, most people are using it as an excuse or using it as a stepping stone. And going back to that, because we did mention how, there's a little bit of lack of integrity in certain industries.
Yes.
Also, people don't be doing stuff right.
That's
they don't be getting a business name, business license and stuff. And with you being an entrepreneur, why was it important for you to do it right and not to just wing it like so many entrepreneurs do?
Well, because it's easy to say, I got a company and go out and print some business cards, some letterhead. But at the end of the day, people Google everything. I'm telling you, Google my name. I found out yesterday, I'm going to have to find out how to take that off. I ain't going to put this on the air. But you put my name in, a lot of stuff come up. A lot of stuff come up.
People gonna
Don't put my name in. Oh, Jesus, wait a minute. And it ain't nothing bad. See, y'all get your mind right. Ain't nothing bad. Get your mind right. I'm just But listen, the thing is that, and I do it. If you say, okay, this is the name of my company, I go out and look for reviews of your company. I go out and look at what is the presence of your company. And so if I don't see those names behind it, incorporated, LLC, whatever, even as a sole proprietor, as an entertainer, we have to have certain things in order, so I think that if you do it right from the beginning, you don't have to get it right in the middle.
Come on now. And the reason why that's so important is because that's what happened with me. I didn't do it right in the beginning. I wanted to do it right. I did it better than my dad had did it. Because I grew up, and for those of you that don't know, the reason why they call me Doni the Tree Lady is because I own a tree care company here in Atlanta, Georgia, Don's Tree Service. Just Don's Tree Service. Don't confuse me with nobody else. Y'all know what I'm talking about if y'all know about the show. But, I was real sideways. I didn't have my little incorporation papers, I was going to check some banks to, instead of depositing the checks in the bank. All those things, you got to have a bank account. You got to have your paperwork. You got to have, your EIN number. All of that. That seems simple, but it's important.
It's important.
Absolutely important.
It's important. Even, with our business, they said the first 3 years of your business, you really kind of setting the foundation. And we had a checklist, and I say me and my business partner that, okay, let's get this done. So we got our bank account done, so we wouldn't, and for those of you that are keep your personal money and your business money separate.
That's a word right there.
And I went to many conferences, even with my music. They say, girl, I got many accounts because I do many different things.
That's right.
The goal is to have 7 streams of income. If you don't have 7 revenues of income, let me be, because the pandemic shut down your one income. So you had to find your other incomes.
Yeah.
So, but imagine if we had at least 7 incomes. So if one shut down, we still got a flow coming in.
But I think people need to be clear on that, though, because we want you to have multiple streams of income, but at the same token, you've got to find something that works.
Yes.
And get committed to that.
Yeah.
Like I didn't branch off into these other things until Don's Tree Service was doing what it needed to do to afford me the time, the flexibility, and the income to pursue my other interests.
And it takes money to make money. Don't let nobody, even, let me tell you this, and you fellow artists, it takes money to do this.
Yeah.
So there are artists now who have jobs.
Yeah.
Who have jobs because, well, let me say this, the gospel industry. I won't say every industry, because if you're in the gospel field and you want to make money, this might not be the field you want to be in, because it is ministry for us. But I had a conversation the other day, ministry versus industry. And industry is about getting on the charts. But guess what? I'm in ministry that I'm a minister, just happen to be in the industry. So I'm in ministry in the industry, but the industry doesn't affect my ministry.
Right.
Okay. So they said, well, how can you do both? I said, well, when I take care of the ministry, everything else takes care of the industry. So if I take care of God's stuff, he takes care of the other stuff. But you have to operate in integrity.
And that's what that's going back to that.
I'm just telling you.
She ran into a lot of people.
Yeah.
And even in my industry, once again, Don's Tree Service, ain't nothing else. But even in my industry, there's a lot of not so integritous people that wind up on the news. So even in my industry, there can be a lack of integrity. And a lot of times people think that that's what you got to do to get ahead, and that's not true. I
promise you.
You're living proof that that's not what you have to do to get ahead. And I was watching a documentary. It was like Unsung or Untethered or something like. It's one of those kind of shows.
Yes.
With he's one of the biggest gospel artists.
Was it Donnie
McClurkin?
Yes.
Yeah, Donnie McClurkin.
Yes.
And he was talking about the industry.
Yeah.
That it can be a little shady.
Yeah.
But he's somebody that found a way to get in the industry and make a name for himself. So she's not saying that you can't make it.
You can't. It takes a long time.
It takes a while.
Well, let me tell you this. If you choose to do it the right way, your process may be a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But I'd rather wait. Like I told the testimony at my album release concert, I've been in it over 20 years. And I'm
young she looked, y'all. She has young.
You know what? Black don't crack. Let me tell you something. I've been in it over 20 years and just really reaching the peak of my season. And a lot of people are like, man, you've been doing music a long time. I said, yeah, but I paid a lot of dues. I made a lot of sacrifices. I don't have kids. I'm not married. Not saying that the music did that, but the focus of it, it takes a lot of sacrifice. And a lot of people don't want to wait. They don't want to trust the process. They want it right now. That microwave spirit.
Don't get it twisted. There are people that do have it happen right now. But the norm is to pay your dues, put your time in, and also perfect your craft.
That's it.
Like when this lady opens her mouth, a voice comes out. A real voice, not
that's all
auto-tuned,
God. That's all God.
Not overproduced.
That's all God.
Voice. And that takes talent and skill.
Well,
like you had to. It's an instrument.
Yeah, it is. This is our instrument. Like people that play the piano, they have to insure their hands because that's how they make their money. Well,
is your vocal cords insured?
They will be.
No,
because I thought about that thing. I met a dude who had his fingers insured because he was a traveling pianist.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if something happened to this, it stops my money flow.
Once again, going back to business, having your paperwork.
That's just like life insurance.
Yeah.
I just experienced that with the death of my mom, and I say one thing about my mom. My mom had her house in order.
Yeah.
So when she passed away, it wasn't a lot of heart. We were grieving instead of worrying about how we were going to bury her or how we were going to do this, because she had paperwork in order. So paperwork basically gives you peace of mind.
Did she just say that?
I said paperwork gives you peace of mind.
Paperwork gives you peace of mind. I'm going to tell you a real funny story. Back in the day when I didn't have my paperwork in order, like I used to have, you know how you go to the DMV to get your little tag? But when you do it right, you can just mail it in and they send you one. So because my little insurance wasn't right and, I forgot to send that paperwork in and this title may have actually went to this trust. I every single time for the first few years, every time I went into the DMV, I had this like little,
Yeah, anxiety.
I hope they give me my tag. Now tag is what, $20, $30,
That's
maybe
it.
a few $100 if it's on one of our big trucks. But I used to have this little, just praying to God.
Telling you.
God, please let them give me my tag. Well, you ain't got to do all of that
Sure
if
don't.
your paperwork is in order.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's one of the lessons as business people, especially minority business people. We don't think about these small things, which is one of the reasons why I'm glad you're talking about it on our show today.
Yeah.
Because I think these are things that people kind of gloss over.
Yeah. Oh, I do it later.
Yeah, exactly.
And later never comes.
And later
because you get busy, you especially when your business really start doing well, and then here come all this other stuff like, well, did you get this order? Are you keeping your receipts? Do you have your log? Do you have this? And it's time consuming. But I told my friend, once we set it up and set the foundation, we good.
That's right. Well, when we come back, I want to talk about some of the things that you've gone through in the last year. And it didn't have to be the last year.
Yeah.
Just the fact that you are a overcomer and what the mindset was to get you to that next level. Because we've talked about some particulars as far as business, but I want to talk about that mindset and that heart set to help you become the woman that you are right now. So you guys, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with Miss Calandra
Thank you, because I ain't married. I'm just
Calandra Gantt, the Princess of Praise. I'm Doni, the Tree Lady, and we're going to take a quick break.
Oh,
and we'll be right back. Hey guys, I'm Doni, the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. We are an Atlanta-based tree service serving all of Metro Atlanta. And you know what? We proudly serve the underserved. And not only that, when we cut down your trees, we don't charge extra for cleaning up. So give us a call at 770-413-8733. That's 770-413-TREE. Check out Don's Tree Service online or at www.donstree.com.
Don's Tree Service.
Hey, this is Marty McFly. Now, if you've listened to the show, there's not a secret I'm a minister. I'm actually a pastor of a church, a wonderful church in East Point, Georgia, called St. Mark Lutheran Church. And what I want to do is invite you to one of our services, or any of our services. See, our service is online, on YouTube, and it's free. You ain't got to pay for it. You ain't even got to do offering. But I invite you to share with me in worship, and just check it out. If you like it, subscribe. And you can actually send me a message or a question. But it's St. Mark Lutheran Church with Minister Marty Ringer. You can actually log on right now and have church with me. That's St. Mark Lutheran Church with Minister Marty Ringer.
Hi, I'm Doni, the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service and author of my book, From Failure to Fabulous. From Failure to Fabulous is my story about taking my life from being an abject failure to building a fabulous life that I absolutely love. And I'm hoping that you'll take the time to check out my book, From Failure to Fabulous.
Get your copy of this inspiring book by Doni Jones, entitled From Failure to Fabulous. Available now on Amazon and donijoneslive.com.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.
Welcome back to Doni Jones Live. I am Doni, the Tree Lady, and we are here with Miss
Thank you, him.
Calandra Gantt, the Princess of Praise. And it was so funny because I almost said Mrs. And I was like, wait a minute. I know that.
Right.
You know that.
Yeah.
But is there someone on the horizon?
No, well, you know.
Or is that on the horizon, I should say?
Well, I don't know. That's all in God's hand. We're gonna say that, but it's hard.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. Let me say.
Yeah.
When you are a young woman, I'm in my 40s, so I'm just putting that out there.
Black don't crack.
It don't. It's hard work. But I think a lot of people have, and I say guys have a stereotype of what they're looking for, and a lot of people have told me, girl, you too put together. I said, well, I don't know what that means. Well, because I'm just day by day living, but I don't want to walk around here like I'm dumb, not educated, not successful just to get a man. Right,
and not only that, if that's what you've got to do to get one, then he the wrong one.
I'm good.
Seriously, I do not believe in this whole dumbing yourself down.
No, I'm good.
I believe that if it's the right one, He will be able to accept all
of you, even my flaws, because we all got them. We all got our shortcomings. We have those issues we still deal with.
Yeah.
But I do believe there's somebody created for everybody.
That's right.
You just have to meet them, and I believe that whoever comes will support the career, they'll support the ministry, and not see it as a competition, but see it as we can build together.
Well, you know, but even in the Bible, and I'm not a Bible thumper. Y'all know that I'm not religious. That's Marty's. Minister Marty's arena. I'm just a spiritual person. I don't like religion. I like spirituality. That's the whole thing. But I do support the industry.
Yes.
I love what you do. But there's a verse in the Bible where Jesus talks about how some person wasn't meant to be married. Some
exactly
weren't meant to be married. And I think that's the same thing with some women. I have a sister that's not married.
Yeah.
But you know what? Because of certain things that have happened in her life, ex-military, some emotional and mental things. Yeah. She is at a place right now where she's happy with herself.
Yes.
But at the same token, she hasn't quite found the right person. But it has allowed her to be available to take care of my mom. Yeah. Because all of I got kids and running a business, and she takes care of my brother. And I try to do my part and help out when I can and stuff. But she has the time. Right.
And I think that a lot has to do with it. That's why I said, God really knows. We don't know if He hasn't actually ordained somebody for us. We may have that desire. Right. But if that is not His will for us, we have to accept it. And I know I've been the caretaker for my grandfather. I was the caretaker. I would take my mom before she passed away. I had the time. God freed me up to have the time. I took care of my grandmother before she passed away 6 years ago. So there's a reason for everything.
There's a reason for every season.
Yes, and timing is everything. Now things are kind of coming down. I'm actually having to be able to focus on myself. Yes. And so now it's like, okay, God, well we kind of ready, and we do date. We do go out and you vibe and see if somebody vibes with what you're doing. They're okay with what you're doing, and then they also have to accept you physically, because I am not a dime. I'm about a quarter, maybe a $50, but I am who I am, and I love who I am. That's awesome. That's who He created me. Now, because I exercise and do things for me, not to get a man. I do it because I want to be healthy, because heart disease runs in my family, diabetes run in my family. So there are certain things I do so I can have long life and live it. But and I won't say all men are bad. All men are not bad. There are a few in the barrel that just won't do right.
Then we ain't dealing with those.
But we ain't dealing with those.
But you just said something, just to switch gears a little bit. You said something about you do exercise and stuff for yourself. And I think the same thing has happened with me. Yeah. It's like during the pandemic, they were when it first started, people were like, oh, people gonna gain weight. They gaining weight because of the pandemic. I deliberately made a choice that I wanted to lose weight. And I wanted to also take care of my immune system. Yeah. And you're looking at two women. I mean, we ain't no size 4 sitting up here. But we understand the importance. Yes. We're not going to use it as an excuse to not try to do better.
Exactly.
Like she's talking about, nutrition and getting exercise for herself. That's why I do it. Not and I'm married. Yeah. And my husband loves me the way I am, but I want to be there long term.
Exactly, for you.
I want to have a long, healthy life. And so I love that you said that. I love that you said that.
And I've always been into natural herbs, natural things, even before the pandemic came
Marty's in the herbs too. Yeah. We can't talk about that on camera. No, I'm just messing with you.
Listen, I've always I've always been into natural herbs, the immune system. Yes. I like that more than medicine, because I saw what medicine did to family members. They continue to take pills, but the pills only suppress the issues and really never. So if I take a pain pill, I gotta really be in pain.
That's me too.
But I elderberry, ignatia, all these different things, zinc, all
vitamin
these
D3, all of that,
probiotics, cleaning your detoxing. I'm doing a daily detox now for the next 14 days, just to clean the bladder, liver, and all these different things. But because
and your skin is gorgeous, by the way.
Everybody tells me, and I don't do anything. I don't wear a lot of makeup. I wear makeup only when I have appearances and stuff. But I just drink water. Try to just different things. But I do what works for me. Yes. I tell people all the time, every keto. I've never tried all those things, but I do what works for me because of my schedule. Yes, but I encourage everybody, find what works for you, work it. And if you fall, get back up. Speaking
of fall, which I don't think this was falling, I think it's just something you went through. You had mentioned that your mother had passed.
Yes.
And a lot of people nowadays are going through transitional periods. It may not always be like the pandemic or the loss of a job. It could be the loss of a loved one.
Yeah.
And on the show we try to give people little nuggets of what people did to overcome. So if you could share with the audience
I think in my case, my mom suffered a long time with different illnesses, and they come to find out it was her heart. And by the time they really found out she had a surgery and all this stuff, and was on life support and having to make the decision to let her go, I have a younger sister, and I think our parents know who's the stronger ones in the family. So it took a lot of prayer from me. Like I'm a spiritual person as well. I believe in God. He's the source of everything. I don't believe in traditional things, but I believe that everything happens for a reason.
We're gonna leave it alone.
But
God is still using us.
Yes, you better believe it. It's a new age and
it is a new age. And can I tell you, the God of her and I is the God of everyone.
It is. He is
the God of everyone.
He is.
I don't care how you define it.
He is.
I don't care what name you want to put on it. I'm just saying. But anyway, go ahead.
But I had to really for a minute step back and remember the conversations I had with my mom, because she knew what she wanted to happen and what she didn't. And I told my sister, this is a position you don't want to be in, but it took a lot of prayer. I even preached my mom's service.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I did my grandmother's, I did my mom. And a lot of people was like, you really going to do this? But I already knew I had to do it.
Yeah.
Because if I hadn't, my mom would have been like, why? Because that's what you do.
That's what you do.
You know, and it took a lot, but it was not my strength. I can honestly say, but music. Music has saved my life a couple of times.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
music.
Strategies
That's why I said, and this was dedicated to my mom, my album release concert, because if anybody, she believed in my music. When she couldn't come, so this project is dedicated to her. There's a song on there I wrote when my grandmother passed. I was in the studio and I had to finish it. There's a song on there, I Surrender, which talk about my brokenness. So this project means a lot to me because I was going through when I had to complete the last couple of songs on it. And instead of giving up, my mom actually came to me a day or so before the album release concert to just confirm, that it's okay. It's okay to move forward. So I think you got to have somewhere to channel your pain.
Yes, absolutely.
If you're an author, if you're a painter, whatever your gift is, channel it in that, pray, meditate, affirm, know that, and grieving doesn't stop overnight. It's 6 months, and every now and then I would call my friend and be like, my mom is really dead. Yeah. It's like it keeps him, and I'm like, I can't even call my mom anymore. The traditional things we did on Sundays, I can't even do that anymore. So I tell people, value them if they're here.
That's right. Yeah.
Because in the twinkling of an eye, we thought she was recuperating, and in a day she was on life support. Yeah. So things changed, but it was music, and that was the second time music saved my life. The other one was years ago when I really was in the depression. Yeah. But my mental state had to be really grounded in God. So, I'm not going to fake the funk. Every day I grieve in certain ways, but it gets better. Yeah. But music, I turn to music. God gave me this gift. He gave me, now I'm the first partaker of my ministry.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, whether I'm teaching, preaching, or singing it.
So you found your way to deal with your grief by working by channeling your gift. So your gift actually helped you through the grief.
And it continues.
Exactly. And I think that's what a lot of people don't get. A lot of times whenever we go through grief, sometimes the last thing we want to do is do what we're gifted at.
It was a minute of that. It was a minute of that, and then my mom was like, "Oh no, we don't do that." It was a minute because you lose hope for just for a minute. Right. It's like, man,
that's normal.
That is a normal feeling.
Very normal.
And I'm like, man, do I even want to go through this and deal with this and still have to grieve and still have to take care of a family and still have to look after a sister, nephews who are a baby,
Yeah.
But my friend Valencia told me, she said, Calandra, you're built for this.
Ooh.
And that was the same words.
I wish I had like one of these little. There's a guy that I follow online. His name is Bradley. Definitely is secular. He's super secular.
Oh yeah.
But whenever somebody comes on his show and they say something powerful, he has this little button he pushes, and it's like it drops a bomb. Like it just kind of, So
right.
we got to get that. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we got to somehow do that. because you are dropping bombs.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah.
giving knowledge. But finish. I apologize.
No. But that was it. It was the gift. It was the gift that took me through.
Yes. So use your gift.
Yeah.
To get through your grief.
Yeah.
You guys, hold out for one more minute.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break, and we are going to come back with Calandra Gantt. We're going to wrap things up, but we're going to hear a little bit more about her story, a little bit more about her ministry, and a little bit more about her music, and just we'll be right back. And stuff falls off the table, but that's okay. All right, we'll be back. Hey guys, I'm Doni the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. We are an Atlanta-based tree service serving all of Metro Atlanta. And you know what? We proudly serve the underserved. And not only that, when we cut down your trees, we don't charge extra for cleaning up. So give us a call at 770-413-8733. That's 770-413-TREE. Check out Don's Tree Service online or at www.donstree.com.
Don's Tree Service.
Hey, this is Marty McFly. Now, if you've listened to the show, there's not a secret I'm a minister. I'm actually a pastor of a church, a wonderful church in East Point, Georgia, called St. Mark Lutheran Church. And what I want to do is invite you to one of our services, or any of our services. See, our service is online, on YouTube, and it's free. You ain't got to pay for it. You ain't even got to do offering. But I invite you to share with me in worship, and just check it out. If you like it, subscribe. And you can actually send me a message or a question. But it's St. Mark Lutheran Church with Minister Marty Ringer. You can actually log on right now and have church with me. That's St. Mark Lutheran Church with Minister Marty Ringer.
Hi, I'm Doni the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service and author of my book, From Failure to Fabulous. From Failure to Fabulous is my story about taking my life from being an abject failure to building a fabulous life that I absolutely love. And I'm hoping that you'll take the time to check out my book, From Failure to Fabulous.
Get your copy of this inspiring book by Doni Jones, entitled From Failure to Fabulous, available now on Amazon and donijoneslive.com.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.
Welcome back to Doni Jones Live. I am here with Calandra Gantt, because I'm going to say it right. I hate when people mix my name up, Doni. It's Doni. So thank you for being so patient.
Yes, ma'am. It's
That's
okay.
Christ in her. 'Cause
It's
if it was
okay.
me, I'd be like, that ain't my name.
No, I'm
That's her.
chilling.
That's
I know who I
Christ
am.
in her.
I know who I am.
I love it.
I know I am. It doesn't offend me. It
I
doesn't offend
appreciate
me.
it. I absolutely appreciate it. But that means I got to work on my hostess.
You're doing great, though. You're doing great.
Thank you. Thank you so much. But Calandra,
Yes.
what do you want people to know about your ministry that maybe we don't know?
I want you to know my ministry is unique. My sound is unique. I'm not like anybody else. I just really flow in what God has called me. And people either going to like you or not like you. And it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay because God has created an audience for you. And when you tap into that audience and you find that audience, they will embrace you for who you are. So you don't have to change. To just be in this game. You ain't got to change.
Right.
So, or this industry, and I don't want to call it a game because people play too many games, but...
we was talking about that earlier.
But for me, I'm born and raised Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a Southern peach. I get a little country sometime, but I can talk proper in the correct way.
When it's time to
negotiate at the table, I know how to take the countryness out and put up the glasses on and look at the contract and let's sign on the dotted line.
Yes.
But when I say I love what I do, I love the energy. I love what I do. I know I was called to do it, and I think in this industry, you got to know that you're called because this is not for the weak.
It's so not for the weak. I couldn't do what you do.
No, you have
because they'd be digging in my background, and be like, "Who's she?"
Exactly, but you have to be willing to take some L's, and you have to willingly take some losses and know the bigger picture. Yeah. And I tell people all the time. Now I have people around me that don't allow me to take a lot of L's because I take a lot for people.
Because you've assembled a good team.
Yeah. And it's still coming together, but I have people in my corner that say, hey, Calandra, you got to stop paying other people before you pay yourself.
That's a principle in itself. Where's that button that I want? That's dropping
You know,
bombs
because
right there.
but I love to see everybody win,
Yeah.
and sometimes I know if I want the best, I got to pay for the best.
Absolutely.
And there are times I'll take gigs and may not even make money because I got to pay bands or singers, but I know there's a bigger picture to that
right.
because you never know who's in the audience.
That's
you never
right.
know who you're singing in front of.
That's right.
So be willing to sacrifice
That's right.
in order to get the exposure or get to the level where now I can turn down opportunities.
I love it.
And I don't have to take every opportunity and I don't have to go after.
Yeah.
They will
Because
come
it's
to
coming
me.
to you because you've taken the time to make a name, and that's what a lot of
Yeah.
people in business, because we do love to talk about entrepreneurship
Yes.
on this show, and being in the industry is a business.
It is.
And she's an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Once again, with her book, with her school,
Yeah.
or with the programs that she has.
Yeah, the consulting
The
company.
consulting
Yes.
company. That's a business.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times people, feel like, well, I don't have to do this and I don't have to do that. And you do. You
Yeah.
got to do the basics.
You gotta do the
take.
basics. Yeah.
You got to take the steps. So,
Yeah.
with you being in ministry, I always like to ask
Yeah.
people, what got you into ministry?
It was spoken of my life. I never thought I was going to be a preacher. But I would be preaching. But the funny story is, when I was younger, I would have a whole service downstairs at my grandmother's house by myself. I was the usher, the preacher, the choir, and the director. And I would open the doors of the church, not knowing that I was going to be doing, but I was doing it at a very young age. But it wasn't until I've been preaching now, or ordained in the ministry, been about 15 years now. But youth day, I would always be the youth preacher. But
We tried that at my church. We were like,
But I'm so different though. I had people, and I'm not bragging or anything, I'm just telling you what God did for me and my ministry. People would from all ages come to my vacation Bible school classes because I talked about the subjects the churches didn't want to talk about.
Okay.
That's sex
right.
and all these
That's
different
right.
things, not realizing your young people, they're going to hear about it, whether they hear it here or they hear it out there. But
That's
when
right.
you want them to hear it, what the Bible says about it,
Yeah.
because we can't stop them. Let me tell you something. You can't stop them from experiencing things.
That's right.
But you can tell them it's okay if you fall.
Yeah.
God still loves you if you fall.
That's the key. The fact that we even got to tell people
Yeah.
it's okay if you fall is sad.
Yeah.
Because the whole walking by faith, the whole being perfected, the
Yeah.
whole, rising to the next
Yeah.
level meant that at some point you fell.
You fell.
Finding God, finding your spirituality, finding your place in His life means that you went through some journey where
Yeah.
things didn't
Yeah.
quite work out,
Yeah.
or you did something
Yeah.
stupid,
Yeah.
and then you had to go, oh, wait a minute,
Yeah.
I got to change.
And you learn
That's
from
how
it.
life works.
And the goal is that we try to let our young people not go through the same thing we did,
Yeah,
but
that's
they're going to
true.
have their own journey.
Absolutely.
And we have to accept the fact we got to love them with agape love, which is unconditional. I love you in spite of how you make me feel sometimes.
That's right, yeah.
And people get on your nerves sometimes,
right.
but you have to love them, because imagine if God didn't love us that way,
right.
because we fail Him so many times.
That's right.
But He looks beyond that,
Yeah.
still meet our needs,
Yes.
still blesses us when we don't deserve it.
Come on.
Grace and favor.
That's right.
Every day you get a new mercy, a new grace.
That's right.
So stop living off yesterday's, because it's already been accounted for.
Come on now, yeah.
So you get a new day to get it right.
That's right.
So
But that also doesn't mean
you won't go out and do it now
You don't
because
go
you
out
get
and do
it.
it.
But
Exactly.
if life happens,
Yes.
and those things happen, you got to be careful and don't play Russian roulette
That's right.
with it.
That's right.
There's
That's
a
right.
chance. You don't want to take His grace for granted.
That's right. But you also, speaking of giving grace to other people, we are supposed to
Yeah.
forgive people.
Yeah.
We are supposed to let situations
Yeah.
go. But we also have to know, and I do talk about this
Yeah.
a lot on our show,
Yeah.
so I'll just say that, put this out there. There are times when you get into a situation that is toxic and unhealthy. That is not what God wants. for
Oh,
you.
no.
That doesn't mean you stay in that situation. If you're in an abusive
Yeah,
situation, if you're in
that's a
domestic
zero.
abuse, sexual abuse, whatever
Yeah,
it
that's a
is,
zero.
financial abuse, because people can abuse you financially too, especially in business. And if you're dealing with that, that's not of God.
It's not.
That's not what she's saying.
No,
here.
no,
So I want to
no.
clear that up.
God is
I
a
think
God of
people-
freedom.
Freedom, there you
not
go.
bondage. And you'll be surprised that even, and I love the church. I grew up in it, but you have to even be careful there, because you can be in bondage there.
Yeah.
I was in bondage for many years,
Yeah.
and God set me free. But I love the church because I got a great foundation.
Yeah.
I will never knock it because I got a great foundation. But when I came into the knowledge for myself
Yeah.
and realized that ain't biblical.
Come on.
But I didn't knock it.
What I love about Marty, and for those of you that know
That
the
ain't
show,
biblical.
Marty McFly, he's a minister, and what I love about him is that he will tell you in a heartbeat what you just said is not biblical.
That
You
ain't
might
biblical.
think that's not in the Bible, because people are like, oh, the Bible says this, and he'll be like, no, that is not what the Bible says.
No.
So I love that. I love that.
That ain't biblical, but we're brought up because that's what they knew.
Yeah.
See, when I realized that my grandmama them knew what they knew because that was taught to them.
absolutely.
And you're dealing with people that only had a certain amount of knowledge anyway.
And a certain amount of education.
Right, so they're going to teach it to their children. Your mama going to teach you only things she knew.
That's right.
But when you read and come into the knowledge for yourself, the word of God says be persuaded by your own mind.
And that's what people
And
are
you
not
walk
doing
into
right
it,
now.
you get free. And I promise you, when freedom comes, there is nothing like being free in Christ.
That's right. Before we wrap up,
Yes.
because Marty usually wraps up with a word,
Yes.
or an inspirational
Right.
vitamin or inspirational moment. Would you share something with the audience that's on your heart or on your mind that can speak to people?
Yeah. Well, I want to tell you, for those that are questioning whether you should step out on faith, really know that you're called to do that. Really know that you're called to do that. Because being a faith walker is not for the fearful. When you walk by faith, there are going to be times you may not know where the money's coming, but you trust God enough to know that if he called you to it, he'll bring you through it. And my key was that when I stopped worrying about where it was going to come from, it came. When I stopped tripping about what I didn't have, I had. You see what I'm saying? Hit that buzz about 3-4 times. But listen, but I want to inspire you that you get one life to live on this side. You get one life to live. Live it in abundance. Don't live it in bondage. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do anything. God says in him you can do all things. Who strengthens me? Christ strengthens me. So you can't do it in your own power, but you can do it with the power of God. So for my fellow faith walkers, if God called you to that thing, don't let nobody tell you you can't do it. It may take 15 years, but you better complete the process.
That's right. That was a word in and of itself.
You better complete the process.
Complete the process. And one of the things that I always tell people, if you got the vision, if God gave you a vision, he also will give you the provision. And you don't have to sit there and worry about it.
Right. That's it. He said, though it may tarry, which means it may come a little slow, but it's going to be fulfilled.
You know, for the longest time, I didn't know what the heck that word meant. I swear. I would hear people say that, I'd be like, yes.
See, that's when you come to where you just say amen to something that may not be so. You know what I'm saying? Though it may tarry, which means it may take a process, but that doesn't mean it won't come to pass.
That's right.
Have you ever known God to lie?
Nope.
If God gave it to you, he can't lie. That's
right.
I told somebody, I preached a sermon, said something God can't do, and they said can't do. I said he can't lie.
I love it. I love it.
He can't lie. So there is something God can't do.
That's right.
We say he can do all things. He can do everything. Yeah, he can do everything, but there is one thing he can't do. He can't lie.
Exactly.
Think about it.
He can't lie, and Calandra is the truth. I'm telling you.
Somebody pass the collection plate because she just said a word. I'm just playing.
Once again, tell people how they can get in contact with you.
Yes.
And you know, for my people, because we have by the way, thank you all for listening.
Yes.
I love our audience, but we got people that are millennials and Z's and all that kind of stuff.
Generation Z.
But we do got my mature, my seasoned folks.
saints. And I love them.
We do. We love them.
Yes.
So for my younger folks, you can stream this.
Yes.
Because we know y'all not going out buying CD.
Right. Well, yeah, it's on all digital retailers.
All digital platforms.
And for those that don't like the internet, even if you just go and tell your granddaughter to email me, Princess of Praise Bookings at gmail.com. I will mail you one, and then I will trust you to send me your money order.
There you go.
In the mail, because everybody still, I don't take personal checks though. I'm just sorry. But money orders, all major credit cards.
Yes.
We do. I'm funny too, y'all. I'm just playing.
I love
But no, listen, CalandraGantt.com.
Yes.
We have a website. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to
Calandra
us.
for 'em.
CalandraGantt. And I ain't too afraid to pray with you either.
That's right.
So you can sow into this ministry, and I will speak a word into your life. But I'll speak a word even if you don't sow.
That's right.
Because I'm not that kind of prophet.
Prophetess, I know. You guys, we've got to wrap up. Thank you for watching Doni Jones Live. Thank you for checking out our show. Please like, share, and subscribe if you've got us on YouTube, and download us on iTunes and all that kind of stuff. You know how to do it. But anyway, thank you for checking out our show, and we'll be back next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, he's worthy, y'all. Well, come on, give God praises.
Hey guys, I'm Doni the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. We are an Atlanta-based tree service serving all of Metro Atlanta. And you know what? We proudly serve the underserved. And not only that, when we cut down your trees, we don't charge extra for cleaning up. So give us a call at 770-413-8733. That's 770-413-TREE. Check out Don's Tree Service online or at www.donstree.com.
Don's Tree Service.
Hey, this is Marty McFly. Now, if you've listened to the show, there's not a secret. I'm a minister. I'm actually a pastor of a church, a wonderful church in East Point, Georgia, called St. Mark Lutheran Church. And what I want to do is invite you to one of our services, or any of our services. See, our service is online, on YouTube, and it's free. You ain't got to pay for it. You ain't even got to do offering. But I invite you to share with me in worship, and just check it out. If you like it, subscribe. And you can actually send me a message or a question. But it's St. Mark Lutheran Church with Minister Marty Ringer. You can actually log on right now and have church with me. That's St. Mark Lutheran Church with Minister Marty Ringer.
Hi, I'm Doni the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service and author of my book, From Failure to Fabulous. From Failure to Fabulous is my story about taking my life from being an abject failure to building a fabulous life that I absolutely love. And I'm hoping that you'll take the time to check out my book, From Failure to Fabulous.
Get your copy of this inspiring book by Doni Jones, entitled From Failure to Fabulous, available now on Amazon and donijoneslive.com.
It's Doni Jones Live. Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live.